Alright, what's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Price Man back in here reacting to another video. This time I'm going to talk about a topic that's, I believe it needs to be heard by the majority of people these days, especially men. Now, I will preface all this stuff what I'm about to say. I am semi-retired out the game, but it's not like I didn't have some glory days, so to speak. And, desire is something that cannot be negotiated. I'll let him talk now. I'll interject with some stories, of course, but let's just say if a girl don't like you, there ain't nothing you can do. So you just walk away. You need to be able to vet and then look for the signs. Now, I will lead off by saying this: switch ups do happen. I remember one time this broad used to like give like stare at me and stuff, and then she got up right into my arms, and I said bye to her, and then she's like, "I never looked at you as anything more." Even my girlfriend was like, "Yo, this girl tripping." But anywho, I'm gonna go ahead and start. Let him talk, and then we'll go from there.
Listen, I always see shit in the comments about getting your ex back or what do I do with women, chasing women, blah, 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 all this stupid shit. When I talk about MGTOW going your own way, focusing on yourself, what I primarily am talking about is you becoming the best version of yourself to the point that you level up so much to the point that you actually experience genuine desire. Because once you experience genuine desire for a woman, you will never chase again. You'll never do the shit where you're like, oh, I'm gonna buy flowers, or she doesn't seem to like me, or we're arguing. You're gonna realize that when a woman wants you, she makes it very easy, right? She makes it very simple. And any complications, any excuses that you're getting from her generally means she's not interested in you. All right. I always give you guys the examples. If you text a chick and she's an hour away and she's like, oh, I don't feel like driving out there, it's too far, she doesn't like you. I heard some dude on YouTube telling a story about how he went, drove 2 hours to the first date. I think he was in like New Jersey, New York. He drove 2 hours to the first date to see a chick. I was like, bro, are you fucking kidding me, bro? She doesn't like you, dude. She doesn't fucking like you.
Yeah, so I'm gonna add a story about that. So I had this broad, as man, time flies. It was back in the day, right? She drove, I think about 4.5, 5 hours to come over, drop that neck, spent 15 minutes with me afterwards, and then drove another 5 hours back because she had to go to work the next day. So if that's not desire, I don't know what to tell you. All right. Now again, I'm an older dude now. I believe this guy's younger than me, but I do look at his videos because I need to lean out. So that's why I stumbled upon this channel. This dude has a lot of good advice on that. And I'm over here eating shit like overnight oats and fucking yellowfin tuna and stuff to try to like change my diet. But yeah, but back on topic of the desire thing. Yeah, if a broad likes you, you don't have to sit here and jump through hoops. That's should be a given. Um, what else I want to say about that? Actually, let him talk some more, and I'll bring in some more stories about that. But let's see what else he has to say.
All right, because like I said, chicks will drive, fly you out. They've done that for me, and they will do that when they're interested in you. So once you've experienced that, it permanently changes your mindset on everything. Just like when you've constantly been listening to people tell you how being out of shape is okay and body positivity is okay, and then you get lean, you get treated differently, but you feel better. You can never go back to being out of shape, right? It's the same concept. So let's get right into the
A wise man once said, I tasted the genuine desire of a woman in love, therefore I can no longer chase women. A line like that stops you because it reveals a truth most men never reach. Once you have felt a woman who chooses you without hesitation, who looks at you like you're the only man alive, who pulls you into her world with pure instinct, you can't unfeel it. It rewires you. It kills the urge to beg. It kills the urge to prove. It
Mm-hmm.
kills the urge to chase. You begin to understand that desire cannot be negotiated. It cannot be forced. It cannot be persuaded with gifts, paragraphs, compliments, or self
Mm-hmm.
sacrifice. Real desire arrives unannounced. It shows up in her eyes before it ever shows up in her words. And once a man experiences that level of hunger from a woman, everything else feels counterfeit. Everything else feels like performance. Everything else.
Exactly, bro. So,
So actually, let him talk
like I
first.
said, a lot of you guys get into these situations where it's like, dang, man, I just, I gotta prove myself to this chick. And here's the thing, right? Women aren't stupid. They know that if you're trying to prove yourself, first of all, you think you have less value than they do. But that also is just a sign that they are not genuinely interested in you guys. Because, like I said, if a woman's genuinely interested in you, she's not gonna be like, "Oh, I need a break. Oh, I don't know. I just feel like we're missing something, or you should."
Yeah. So I'm gonna pause before it gets too far here. But yeah, I mean, he's keeping it a buck right here. I always bring up the episode of Pokemon. I know it's gonna make me sound like a dork. It's called Go West, Young Meowth. So basically, it tells him how he learns to talk and how he joins the Team Rocket, right? However, I saw this back as a kid, and that was like my first dose of reality before I started getting to like the dating pool like that, right? I noticed he was after this one broad. This broad dissed him, right? Blah blah blah, and he's still pining over her. And then they meet back later, right? And long story short, he does this great grand gesture. He beats his evolution. You know, Meowth evolves into Persian. He beats a Persian in that episode. That girl straight disses him, runs past him, starts licking the wounds of the Persian, and then says, "You know, Meowth, you're still just a freak, Meowth." So basically, once a broad disses you, that's the end of that. So just keep that in mind. I want to tell you about that. But and then I'll give one last thing. Remember back in middle school shit. Man, girls be switching up too. So I remember one time. Can I say this on YouTube? Let's say I was enjoying a girl's chest on the bus. I didn't know the bus driver saw me. Like, I mean, I had basically, how can I even say this? Basically, I was sucking on some titties. Fuck it, I'm gonna say it. And the bus driver saw me. I didn't know he saw me. He did. When I was leaving the bus, he was like, "Yo, that's one lucky. You're one lucky motherfucker." He said it just like that, but they probably get in trouble. It's before cell phones and shit like that, so I had to worry about that. But long story short, this girl switched up on me. She was like, she called me, right? And I'm playing Star Fox 64, doing the Zonus level, taking out the searchlights. So if you know about that, you know. And you know, she's like, blah 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 blah, and she's like, "It's over." I'm like, okay. And I went back to playing Star Fox, and I heard her in the background. She's like, "This motherfucker said okay," and then she hit me with the "F you," and I was like, "Well, all right then." Dropped the not the cell phone, dropped the cordless phone. Went back to playing Star Fox. But yeah, once abroad is playing games, it's just whatever. But let's see what else he has to say.
Do this or you should do that. Any signs that you're not her best option, you need to get out of there. That is exactly what I do. Like, if I'm messaging a chick and she says some, she's unsure or she doesn't know, that just means she's not interested enough. It's not that deep,
Okay.
all right?
Mm-hmm.
And you guys need to realize this sooner rather than later, because a lot of you guys realize this shit too late. Then you get divorced or you break up or some shit. But in reality, if you say some shit like, yeah, let's go out to get some coffee or let's go to the park or whatever. If she's like, nah, we gotta go to Ruth Chris, or let's go to this really nice steakhouse I just found, and you're paying. If you're like, okay, I'll pay and I pick you up, and you don't know this chick, that just signals to her that you have no fucking options, number one, but also that you've never dealt with a woman with genuine desire. So for a lot of you guys who are like,
And pause right there. I'm gonna bring my current girlfriend right now. So I first made a move at first, but and then she kind of rebuffed me. So I was like, I didn't think about it, right? A few months later, she actually asked me out, and then we went out and got some Chinese food. Normally, I'm in the belief that whoever asks the person out is gonna pay for the date. However, she is younger than me, so what I did, I was like, we went Dutch. I was like, yo, I'll pay for my food, you pay for yours. I'm not gonna have you buy my meal. You know what I mean? Even though technically she should be buying it because she asked me out. But anyway, we've been together for 3 years now. But just saying, if a girl like you, like, she came out the blue and was like, oh, let's go meet up and talk about, trying to, get together. And so, yeah, so if a girl like you, you don't have to sit there and jump all through these hoops or do all this nonsense. Went to a little Chinese takeout spot, got the lunch specials, came for egg roll, entree, and some white rice. So, I didn't have to take it to no damn Fleming's or anything like that. I mean, we went done other stuff later, but for the first date, we got Chinese takeout. But back to this guy.
Oh my god, I'm not gonna play games. I'm not gonna play games. You only have to play games if you are not familiar with, you know, if you're not familiar with what genuine desire looks like. Because once you're
Mm-hmm.
familiar with what that looks like, you no longer tolerate games because you are rewired, like he said. All right, it rewires you. Because best believe me, I used to do hella chasing because I had to, because I had no value, right? I remember there was one chick in high school. She was always dating this one dude, right? And I could never get her attention. And then I left high school, right? Hit her up on Instagram, and she responded. I guess she was just bored or some shit, or they're probably on a break or something. But she responded, and I was initiating every conversation. I was triple texting, double check texting,
Yeah.
you know. And then I finally, literally after weeks and weeks of effort, right? And a lot of times we feel like the harder you work, you know, if you work hard, then you can negotiate with genuine desire, but you can't, because the entire time I was texting her back and forth, there was no genuine desire. And by the time I got on the first day, she was just like basically a free meal for her, bro. She was just like eating the meal, kind of ignoring what I was saying, and I was just basically, you know, trying to start a conversation and getting rejected. Like literally, she was just eating whatever she was just eating. She was like, okay, this is a good meal, you know, he's gonna pay for it, type shit. You know what I mean?
And pause right here. But yeah, remember, girls give their friends all these tidbits, and that's why we need to start having these conversations. Because we've all been there. I mean, come on. You never, unless, even if you're a Giga Chad, you know, I'm going to use these, you know, slang terms. I mean, even they've got, it's not as much as like a regular dude, because I'll always say, I'm just a regular dude, and I've been on both sides. I mean, I've had girls I talked to one girl back in like middle school, high school. They'll just get up, walk away from me. I had one girl say, ew, but also in high school, because I was a strong safety back in the day. And girls are all about it. So, you know, I've been on both sides. So I know what desire looks like and what desire doesn't look like. Now, a lot of people don't, unfortunately, because that's, damn. I mean, I will say shit is different these days, because I'm like, whoa. Some of these girls that are average at best really be wanting tens. I mean, anyway, you know, getting off topic here. Let's see. Let's continue.
So that's how women treat you when they're not genuinely interested.
Mhm.
Because if they're genuinely interested, here's the thing. I remember there was this chick, she was genuinely interested, and you know, she like cleared up her schedule. She's like, oh yeah, like we can meet up tomorrow. And I was like, oh, you want to meet up tomorrow? Okay, cool. Okay, well, let's go to this spot. And I told her a random sushi spot, and she was like, okay, cool. You know what I mean? Even though it was further from her than it was from me, it was close to me. And then, you know, she gets there early. That's another thing, right? They get there early and they message you before the date, all right? Because a lot of you guys that feel like you're gesture maxing too much, if you feel like you're doing any gesture maxing,
Yeah.
that is because there's no genuine desire, right? You shouldn't be doing too much gesture maxing. Like, you shouldn't be initiating conversation every single day. You shouldn't be like, okay, right before the date, you shouldn't be like, hey, just checking that we're still going on this date. Fuck no. All right, the chick should be messaging you like, hey, are we still good for this date? That's how it should be. All right, it shouldn't be you messaging chick like, hey, we still good for this date? Hey, you need me to pick you up? Hey, you want me to pay for your Uber? It should not be like that, especially if you don't know the chick. All right, period. But anyways, so this chick got there early or whatever, and like when we got on the date, you know, she was fascinated that I was like nominated for Love Island, and she was glazing me the whole time.
Good.
She was basically gesture maxing. All right, like I said, once you get on,
Yo, I didn't know Homeboy was nominated for Love Island, so shout out to this dude. I saw like a few minutes of this video, and now I'm kind of watching it for the first time. So, but yeah, back to it, and then I'll add some feedback.
party game and you get to the other level, you will be the one shit testing, and you will be the one that woman gesture max for. All right, that's why it's important to go from Chud to Chad. A lot of you guys don't realize that shit, and you guys just stay exactly where you are because you've never dealt with genuine anxiety, because you also don't listen to videos like this. Like, you see shit on TikTok, you know what I mean? You might see that dude King 6'8" or whatever, and how women react to him, and you just think it's staged or some shit. That's really how shit happens. All right, or you might hear a story and you don't believe it, and guess what? That means you're gonna keep being blue pilled, which means you're gonna keep gesture maxing. All right, because best believe.
Yeah, bro. And again, I'm 5'10" on a good day, but I was more yoked back in the day and slimmer. But I never forget. I told these stories before, but you know, girls into you, she gonna do something, even if she got a boyfriend. And I've smashed 3 girls who've had boyfriends, but I didn't know they had boyfriends at the time. It's after the fact. So there's some scandalous shit out there. And as a matter of fact, one girl, and she knew she was a side chick. This is later on in life. I said, hey, you're gonna have to buy my girl some breakfast. So she took me out to eat. We had breakfast, and I said, hey, give my girl a French toast plate to go. She brought the French toast plate, dropped it off to my girl, and then went back to the side chick. So, if they like you, they doing shit like that. Now, I will say that's really not a great way to live. So, let's not do these things. But just to illustrate the point of genuine desire, if she didn't like me like that, she wouldn't have done that shit. Hell, one girl, I was but this is back in the day, living in my car. She used to come bring me food. She even let me use her address as a shipping spot, and I didn't want to stay up in her house like that, so I would come in sometimes. So, I'm telling you, it's there. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. It's there.
I've had women do some gesture makes and shit for me. I remember this one chick. She was like, "Yeah, I don't cook for no fucking man." Like, all that stuff. She was saying, "Oh, I don't cook for men. This is that." All this goofy shit. You got to take me out on a date, and then she hit me up first, right? She hit me up on Snapchat. She was like, "Hey, I think you look good. I love a chocolate king." All this shit, you know what I mean? It was a black chick. She had a nice ass or whatever. Cool, right? And then she was like, "Hey, we should go on a date or something," right? So the what, me, I'm not gonna gesture match. So I was trying to see where she was at. So I said, "Oh yeah, what do you like to do?" And she was like, "We could like go out for dinner, some shit like that, or get drinks." I was like, "I don't like drinks. I don't feel like going out for dinner," so I just didn't answer, right? And I'm still posting on Snapchat, looking shredded, because your boy's him. And then like 2 weeks later, she's like, "Hey, we should meet up." And I was like, "All right, if you want to meet up, here's what we're gonna do. All right, you're gonna cook for me." And she's like, "I don't cook for people."
And then, hey, get shredded, guys. Even though I'm definitely flabby these days, I need to get back as close as possible at his level. But shit, my girl's a 00. If I could give her some of my fat and just kind of, even the shirt would be perfect. But yeah, listen to what he says, man. It's not all about that, but that really does help. All right. So I'm gonna continue to add some more stuff.
Left her on red, and she's like, "Fine, I'll cook for you." So here's what our first date was, bro. I will tell you guys our first date. We both went to Publix, right? She bought some groceries. All right, she paid for the groceries, and then she made the goddamn food. All right, for me. All right, and then I beat that back out. All right, that is what happens because I know what genuine desire looks like. A lot of times these.
All right. So the video cut out, went dark, so I decided to just stop it real quick. I forgot it's on an automatic timer in here. You can kind of see the light switch there. It's not a regular light switch; it's a sensor switch. And so I had it on the timer. So I'm gonna go back. So you'll see a little darkness come back light, but I'm not gonna fully edit it out. But here it is.
I need a man who makes 7 figures and 7 foot tall. When they say that shit, that's not how shit happens in real life. Like, because in real life, emotion takes over. Like when a chick has genuine desire and emotion takes over.
Hey, he is not wrong about that. Again, I'm 5'10", and go back to the stories about these girls that I smashed who had boyfriends that I didn't know at the time. All three of their boyfriends is taller than me. I think the tallest one was 6'4", one was 6'2", and I think the other one was just regular 6', about 6 feet tall. It's a little taller than me, but the two were significantly taller than me, right? I had one girl. I smashed her in the backseat of her car, and then she said, "Oh, you're gonna get me in trouble," and I was hitting that for like hours, right? And then, anywho, fast forward about a week later, I saw some tall brother, and I was like, "Oh, this girl, that's why." And then this other girl, she dropped that net, right? Finished. I finished, and she succeeded. There you go. There you go. And I see her kissing on her boyfriend. I was like, despicable, right? And then third broad, I felt really bad. I smashed her. She was a sister. Smashed her. Blah blah blah. And next boyfriend came through in the morning, and he brought me McDonald's. Where I didn't even know. I was like, "Oh, bro, like the sausage egg McMuffins." And I wanted to tell him, but you can't tell the dudes because then shit happens to you. They're gonna get mad at you rather than her. It's like, yo, I didn't know, man. But anyway, back to this.
You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna be her greatest option, and she's gonna be thinking about you. She can't stop thinking about you. You're gonna get those long ass paragraphs. You know what I mean? Once you've had that multiple times, you are now on game. Your mind can't go back to chasing a chick because you know that you chasing means that there's a lack of desire in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? That's literally what it is. So if you're chasing a chick, I saw another YouTube video of some dude saying, "Yeah, dating's so hard. Like, some chick, I messaged her before the date and she canceled last minute. She wasn't interested, boy.
Yeah.
My
Straight
boy,
up.
she was not interested. It's not that deep, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
chicks canceling dates on people means she has no respect for you. She
Mm-hmm.
sees no value in you. And first of all, she's not interested in you. If you're getting short text messages, all right. I think some of you guys still use dating apps. I don't use those motherfuckers anymore
Mm-hmm.
because I'm out the game. But um, if you are messaging a chick, right, and she's just like, yeah, sometimes, okay, unmatch her,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or if you're on Instagram and you're messaging a chick and she's like, cool, maybe, and you're like, hey, can we go out? I want to take you out, and she's like, someday. It just never message them again, bro. Do not mess.
Yo, I remember this one redheaded broad, right? No, she seemed to start feeling me, but then what she said, I said, hey, you want to go to this little warehouse event? It was like basically like a warehouse rave, right? It's back in the day. And she's like, oh, I'll let you know. I was like, oh, you know what? That's the end of that. And I'll never forget this one broad I was talking to. It was getting back in the day stuff. And basically, she kind of like dissed me. She like stopped talking to me, right? And then I started seeing her more in person because it was at school, like college, right? And she would see her. She would come by my area for no reason, like be in my vicinity, right? And I would just like look at her and then go back talk to whoever I was talking to, right? Whether it's a dude or the homies or some chick, whatever. And she did that multiple times. I never forget the last time I was at a table talking to this dude because we were going over the project. We are gonna do a project for school, so no Diddy stuff, right? And this broad comes right next to the table. I turn and look at her for like a good few seconds, and I go back talking to the dude, and then she just walked away. I'm like, this is the girl that like stopped talking to me. Like they be out here playing games. So dudes, gentlemen, if a girl playing games, don't engage, bro. Just let that go. What he's saying is true.
Message them again. They're not interested. When a chick is interested, she's sending you voice notes, video messages, right? She's responding within 3 seconds. All right.
Mm-hmm.
It's just how it works. The last couple of dates I went on like months ago, right? Because like I said, I'm out the game. But the last couple of days I went on like months ago, it's like, listen, the chick's hitting you up first. You know what I mean? Or they're like, oh my God, like I'll cook for you type shit. Like that's how it works. All right. Because for every man that a woman wants to gesture max, or for every man that a woman is like, oh, I don't know, send me $200 for my nails. This is that. There's another guy that she'll be like, hey, I'll cook for you and I'll buy lunch. Just come see me, or I'll buy dinner. Come see me, or whatever. That kind of thing, right? Because they have genuine desire. If if she is not cooperating or respecting you, which you can't negotiate respect or genuine desire.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If she's not cooperating or respecting you, she doesn't have genuine desire for you. It's not that deep, guys. Stop
Yeah.
overthinking
Mm-hmm.
shit. Stop being like, I don't know if my girlfriend still likes me. She's been kind of, giving me the cold shoulder. Get the hell out of there, bro. She's already smashing someone else, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Giving you the cold shoulder when you live with her is just crazy. You know what I mean? Like,
Yo, I remember the only broad that I've lived with, right? I didn't know she was out for widow. Long story short, make it quick. She's talking to some ex from back in the day, an ex that she cheated on, by the way. And this dude's a sucker. How you gonna be keeping contact with a broad that cheated on you? Long story short, I'll bring something I did back in the day. I was dating this girl a long time ago, right? Blah blah blah. And then she ends up cheating on me, so I stopped talking to her, right? Then this girl calls me, right? Like from a different number. It's before like things are popular to block people. I mean, you don't even think about it because it's not like how like people are more receptive these days, which is crazy to me. But anyway, she calls me back from a different number. This is like 4 months after she cheated on me. She tries to be like, "Oh hey, how's it going?" I was like, "Yo, who's this? Is this?" I'm not gonna say her name. Her name starts with a K, but she's like, "Yeah, I just want to see how you're doing." I was like, "Girl, you cheated on me. Don't call me again." And she was like, "Fine, whatever." I was like, and hung up the phone. I was like, "Fucking nonsense." But anyway, back to what I was talking about. So this bro cheated on this dude, and he's still talking to her. I was like, bro, the utter disrespect. So I looked at her, right? I didn't say anything. 3 days later, I packed up all my shit in storage. I left that broad. Thankfully, the lease was ending soon, and I left her portion for the utilities. And I said I'm out. And I slept in my car for 2 months to save some rent and waiting for this new apartment. And they moved into my new apartment. But I'm just saying, I was like, bro, I didn't have a place to go, and I still was like, I'm out of here. So you can do it, gentlemen.
So for a lot of these situations, I feel like you guys need more men around you who have experienced
Mm-hmm.
genuine desire, because a lot of you guys are in some weird, like a lot of you guys are in some relationships where it's like the chick is just like on her phone. Like for example, I went to the gym yesterday, right? I feel like I'm always at the gym. I am, but and some dude was like talking to his girl. And she's just on her phone, and they're like working out next to each other. She's just on her phone. And he was like trying to talk to her because it looked like their boyfriend and girlfriend, and she was just kind of ignoring him on his phone. So then he went on his phone, and she was just literally ignoring him the whole time, right? And she was wearing some thotty shit. And the other day, I went to Target and I saw some girl like trying to. You could tell she was trying to get attention. She was with her man, and he's like trying to like mate guard her and shit. The shit was funny. She's like looking at me, you know what I mean? She was looking at me, and I was like, yo, she's trying to smash type shit. So, do not deal with situations that don't have genuine desire. All right, like the root.
Yo, and then pause it. Okay. I'm gonna do a link to his full video so you can watch it on it, but it is a reaction channel, so I'm gonna interject with some stuff. But this happened to me too. I was with my uncle. We went to go get some Chinese food at this one spot, right? It was actually at like a little Asian market, right? And they had like a little quick serve spot. But anyway, so this broad with her dude, so he's in front of her, she's behind her, now we're in front, and she moves in front of her boyfriend to be closer to me. And she starts talking to me. She's like, "Oh yeah, I like your shirt, blah blah blah." And I'm like, and I'm not even trying to like highlight no bro. I'm with family, like, bro. I'm just trying to get some food with my uncle. Like, that's not even the game. But I never forget the disrespect she did her man like that. Dude, obviously this was a long time ago and I was in better shape, but still, this dude's probably paying for her food and she just straight disrespects this man like that. So it does happen. I mean, it's sad. I mean, I, maybe because I'm not a heartless dude, I, I'm just like, bro, like, I feel bad for the dude. I legitimately feel bad. Not saying that I'm better than that dude or anything. It's just like, bro, like, it's like, what's that movie, The Mummy? And then when Anox on the Moon doesn't run to help out Imhotep, but Brandon Fraser's girl helps him up. And even Brandon Fraser's like, damn, bro, you tried to kill me for like 2 movies, and Anox on the Moon just left you high and dry. Even Brandon Fraser's character felt bad for homeboy. So anyway, let's finish this up and I'll add a few more closing thoughts.
The root of suffering is desire, right? I don't think that relates here, but anyways, you know what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, you guys can control what you can by avoiding situations where there is no genuine desire. When there is no genuine desire from a woman, you are going to be jumping through hoops, jester maxing. You're going to be the final boss jester max. Like, seriously, you don't want to waste your time doing that shit. So guess what you're going to do? If a woman's not interested, if she's disrespecting you, if she's not messaging you first ever, guess what? Move on to the next. There's like a gajillion women.
But yeah, what he said, just move on to the next one, man. No matter how much you like her, you're gonna have to just move on because you're never gonna get a proper relationship out of that. And I think more men need to hear that. And then also, don't get me wrong, there's some women that need to hear this shit too. They be out here chasing some dude that don't even don't have any positive thoughts about that broad, but they be out there chasing. But yeah, genuine desire cannot be negotiated. And like how he's out the game, I'm semi-retired. I did tell my girls I don't know if I'm gonna be in a serious relationship again after her if it don't work out. But yeah, it's because there's a bunch of nonsense out here these days. Like I said, that one girl that got up, ran into my arms, and said, "I never looked at you like that." I'm like, anywho, so remember, and that's another thing, dude. I think for true desire, like, I think each of us only gets a handful of people that will really do it. Not just like sexual desire, but I mean a full-on desire. Like, you can get him because obviously he's shredded, great shape. He's probably got a bunch of broads, a bunch of lustful desire. Like, and I'm not hating on this dude or trying to clown on me. Hey, he put in the work. He's at the gym eating right. Hey, it be like that sometimes. But yeah, guys, just be out there, man. Just know what the game is, and you know, if broad don't like you, nothing you can do about it. I'm a firm believer on that. All right, you don't want to be out here on some effery. Like I always bring up that show Twin Peaks. This broad chasing, no, not this broad. This dude chasing this broad after she was dissing him, but of course the chimpanzee writers, yeah, the simps. So long story short, this dude really liked this girl. This girl was screwing someone else. She gets pregnant by that dude, right? And the dude that got her pregnant started dogging her out basically. And they're supposed to feel sorry for this broad after she's basically dissing the hell out this one dude. And then they have this contest of who's going to be the father of the kid. And the other dude, you know, in real life is not going to give a fuck, all right? But anyway, the simp dude wins. Years later, when season 3 comes out, because it was like what 20 years, probably almost over 20 years between season 2 and season 3 of Twin Peaks. Season 3 was on Showtime or whatever. But anyway, then you see him still with that broad, raising another man's child, and of course, conveniently, they write a part of the story that that dude can't have kids. It seems like I'm going off topic, but I'm just saying, don't be that dude. All right, just I know a lot of media wants men to chase and be simps, but at the end of the day, if that broad don't like you, leave that broad alone and find someone else. Now, of course, be mindful of switch ups. Like I said, I had a girl get up, running to Mars. I had this other girl I was having some fun with, and then she said, "Oh, it's over," out of nowhere. So switch ups do happen. You'll get some curveballs, but most of the time, if a broad don't like you, it's completely evident. Yeah, I think we'll end it there. But till next time, YouTube, show this guy some love. This video you'll see slight transition. I'm not gonna fully edit it out, but yeah, show this dude some love. He's got a lot of good diet tips and some dating tips too, I saw. But let's just say I've been eating overnight oats and carrots and having canned tuna fish for all the protein, trying to do more exercises, the whole nine. So I don't know if I'll be able to get back in that type of shape unless I follow to 100%, but I'm gonna get lean again. So that's all I'm gonna say. Till next time, YouTube.